guide.
Yes.
And you scroll through the channels with these buttons. So
Yes.
see which one you want.
I've got it.
Yeah. See. Like this.
Oh, what do I do?
You take,
What?
You press the up and down button.
Understand. What is that?
It's my cell phone.
What
One
is-
second. Gotta
what
take
is-
this.
Courtney.
Hello? Oh, hi. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, so this weekend? Okay.
Courtney.
1 second, my grandma's calling me. What do you want? I'm on the
I
phone.
want the news. What is that?
It's my cell phone.
Hello? Hello? Who
Grandma,
is
hey,
calling?
Grandma, no. I'm sorry, that is my grandmother. Grandma, just stop. There's your news. Are you happy?
Yes.
Can I go on my phone now?
Yes.
Thank you. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry about that.
Technology has completely changed the workforce. Now, it used to be just a factory and everybody'd build their own parts, and now it's an assembly line completely based solely on robotics, and it's changing a lot of jobs for people in the workforce. Like your grandparents, the jobs they're doing is nothing as to what your parents are doing now, which is extremely crazy because it's only been so many years since technology first came out in general. And now it's changing at a fast pace, and we don't know how it's going to end. The way we communicate, the way we live. You could be having dinner and somebody could just bring out their cell phone and it completely changes the mood. It's just a thing that, I don't know, it could be good and it could be bad. The pros and cons is up to the consumer. But one day you can be using your home phone, the next day it's a cell phone. It's always building on past inventions, and there's always something new to buy for consumers. The thing in our video where you saw the older woman not knowing how to use the current technology is actually a real life struggle because everybody experiences it.
Over the years, it started out as a small thing, not many people knowing how it would come out or how it would go, but now it's part of our daily lives. Technology is everywhere.
Influence technology in the workforce and technology itself. One of the main people were the Wright brothers who created the airplane. Without airplanes today, many people wouldn't be able to travel to where they want to, and products would not be able to get to where they need to go. Henry Ford was also another person who greatly changed technology. He created the first assembly line and also some of the first vehicles. Steve Jobs is another one most people will know today. He was the co-founder of Apple and their spokesperson. So without the assembly line, Steve Jobs would not be able to produce the Apple products. And without the Wright brothers, his products get shipped worldwide. Technology all depends on each other and how they associate. They just work together. Technology is both a useful and harmful thing. A lot of people today, they're really reliant on the technology that has come out. It's changed values in a lot of people. People have become to the point where they just need it all the time. They always have to have it. Most people, teenagers, you'll see they'll have a cell phone in their hand, or as back in the day they wouldn't have that. Most people would be out playing soccer, and this could lead to a lot of problems, between health issues and, stuff like that.
Awesome. I communicate with my friends all the time. They're just the best thing in the world.
like and the kind of society that you live in.
Well, there's a lot of bleeding hearts around who just don't like to see people with helmets and guns. All I can say is go on and bleed, but it's more important to keep law and order in this society than to be worried about weak-kneed people who don't like the looks of a soldier.
At any cost? At any cost? How far would you go with that? How far would you extend that?
Well, just watch me.
Today I brought with me the proposal of Bill 101. This contains parts of Bill 22. We the Quebecois, seeing as we are the biggest province in Canada, feel like separation needs to happen. French Canadians feel that Canada does not support the culture outside of Quebec, and this is a serious problem. So Bill 101 was created to make Quebec more enjoyable for us since we're obligated to stay here. We want all students to attend just French schools, all businesses and business affairs to be dealt with in just French, and French to be the only official language in Quebec.
I completely support bilingualism in Quebec, but because Canada is mostly English country, it would create many issues if Quebec was an all-French province. I see where you're coming from, Levesque, but it's just not possible right now. We believe in two official languages, in a pluralist society, not merely as a political necessity, as an enrichment. We want to live in a country where French Canadians can choose to live among English Canadians, and English Canadians can choose to live among French Canadians without abandoning their cultural heritage.
We will bring this issue up again.
Things that bother you never bother me. I think everything's fine. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Haven't got a lot, I don't need a lot. Coffee's only a dime. Living in the sunlight, loving in the moonlight, having a wonderful time. Just take it from me, I'm just free as any dove. I do what I like, just when I like, and how I love it. I don't give a hoot, give my cares a hoot. All the world is in rhyme.
Somehow it didn't last forever. The time came when the ticker tape in the broker's office told a new story. It was panic. 16.5 million shares of stock sold in a single day. Sold hopelessly, desperately, at any price. It was the forerunner of depression and crisis.
Closing time. The close of an era. The great big spree, the jazz age, is over. All over. In the 1920s, the great American word was prosperity. Now the 30s have begun and there is a new word. Depression. Little man, what now? Well, you can always sell surplus apples, 5 cents apiece on the street corner. And if you're bewildered, panicky at what's happening to you in your country, you aren't alone. One of America's biggest industrialists has openly admitted, I am afraid. Prosperity is just around the corner, say the hopeful headlines. But around the corners wind the lengthening bread lines, and a whole new class of citizens appears in American society. The new poor.
Boy, what do you think about the Depression?
Depression in the 1930s was very bad and impacted all of us.
So Lauren, how do you feel about the economic standards in Canada?
I think the economic standards have went up greatly since 1914. We've gotten financial assistance for citizens who can't provide for themselves. Employment has went up. There is a standard minimum wage for everybody, including students, and benefits for those who need it.
Have you benefited from like the economic standards?
I have benefited because personally, I think a lot of people wouldn't be able here because we wouldn't be able to afford health care, and that's just, it's a big help.
Thank you.
So Hunter, what do you think about the changing economic and social conditions since 1914?
Well, the economic and social conditions since 1914, they've changed quite a bit in a lot of different categories and subjects.
How do you think social and economic conditions have changed since 1914?
Well, now we have welfare and stuff, and financial aid, so it's better for people's living conditions.
Rebecca, what do you think about unemployment in Canada?
It's bad, because when I get older, I might not have a job to support my family.
Trudeau has had a huge impact on Canadian society.
So Lauren, what has Pierre Trudeau done to make himself well known in Canadian society?
Pierre Trudeau has done many things to make himself well known. The most dramatic event of his first governance was the October crisis, as shown earlier in the video, with the kidnapping of the British diplomat James Cross and the Quebec cabinet minister Pierre Laporte by the terrorist Front de Liberation de Quebec, FLQ. In response to this, he invoked the War Measures Act with its extraordinary powers of arrest, detention, and censorship. Shortly after, Pierre Laporte, one of the ones who was kidnapped by the FLQ, was murdered by his abductors. Controversy over this, and emergency measures had to be taken, which is why Pierre Laporte introduced the War Measures Act. And it was really smart and witty of him to do this because it had huge controversy, and not many prime ministers could have pulled this off while staying in governance. Some less dramatic but more significant things he's done is the Official Languages Act that he talked about with René Lévesque, the Quebec premier. He improved the position of francophones in Ottawa and like all over the country, especially in Quebec, where it was most needed. In his last period in office as Prime Minister, he defeated the Parti of Quebecois' proposition about Quebec separatism when they wanted to be their own province. They didn't even want to be their own province. They wanted to completely separate themselves from Canada and be their own country. And he diminished that, and they're going to be in Canada for a long time, thanks to him. Some other things he did was the Quebec referendum campaign. Just a bunch of different things. And Trudeau pushed strongly for accord on a new Canadian constitution. In Parliament, he was thought of as not only a prime minister, but almost a hero, as he wasn't just the kind of guy to sit behind a desk. He's known to be doing pirouettes behind the Queen and all kinds of other goofy things that make him look more human in the public eye, which is why so many people look up to him.
Prime Minister Pierre Elliott Trudeau had a flamboyant persona, but he was also a fiercely disciplined politician. Hi, I'm Alex Leduc, and welcome to WatchMojo.com. Today we're speaking with biographer John English to learn more about Trudeau's life behind the scenes and how it affected his politics. What were his biggest personal frustrations or any flaws he was never able to overcome?
He was very troubled with the death of Laporte. When Pierre Laporte was assassinated, he was with Margaret Trudeau. They were not yet married, but she was staying with him at 24 Sussex. She saw him just fall apart and go into tears. But those who worked with him said that he did seem very steely, and he seemed to have that capacity. He was being challenged, and he loved challenges, and he was going to stand up for them. Hence the "just watch me" in response